Today we are going to study the difference between a segment and a sector. In this one, two major things to be learned here. The first one is the chord and second one is the radii. So to understand this one, let us take the circle. Here I am drawing some line segments here. This is the center of the circle. There are few lines which are not passing through the center of the circle, and there are few lines which are passing through the center of the circle. Two type of lines you are getting there. One is not passing through the center of the circle, one is passing through the center of the circle. Means two different lines you are getting there. Those nothing but since a starting point and ending point is there, we can call them as a segment. Then what is the name to be differentiated between those two lines? We call them as a chord and a diameter. The chord is nothing but the lines which won't passes through the center of the circle, the line segments which won't passes through the center of the circle, such type of line segments are called as a chord of the circle. Okay, now the line segments which passes only through the center of the circle, the line segment which passes only through center of the circle, such type of lines are called as a diameters. The diameters exactly divides the circle into two parts, no doubt. The diameter will divide the circle into two parts, but it is not happened by the chord. The chord will divide the circle into two parts, but one part will be the more, one part will be the less. But it not happens to the diameter of the circle. The diameter will divide the circle into two equal parts. That's the reason it is called as a semicircle. Understand this one. Now one more concept you need to understand here. If the chord is traveling near to the center of the circle and passing over the center of the circle and again moving away from the center of the circle, then the chord is called as a diameter, because the chord will passes through center of the circle and also it will move away from the center of the circle. So such type of things are called as a diameter and a chord. That's the reason there is another definition for the diameter. The longest chord is called as a diameter. There is one more definition for the diameter. The longest chord is called as a diameter. What is another definition for the diameter? The line segment which passes through the center of the circle is called as a diameter. These two are the definitions for the diameter. You need to note it down here. Now, segment and a sector. Sector is the amount of region which is bounded only by the radii of the circle. Means it is inclination. It forms an inclination with the center of the circle. Okay, now that's the reason sector. Sector is nothing but the amount of region enclosed by the radii, with an inclination. Such a type of region is called as a sector. But it not happens to the segment. The amount of region enclosed by the chord of the circle. That is the difference between a sector and a segment. The segment here, it is not an angle formed here because this is not a radius or diameter, but this is associated with radii. If you observe this one, it looks like as a triangular shape. A sector is a triangular shape, but this segment is not looking like as a triangular shape. It is like looking like a curved path. Okay, now that's the reason you need to understand the two different. Here also it is a tracing a curved path, but here also it is tracing a curved path. But here angle of inclination is not formed here. Here angle of inclination is formed at the center of the circle. So the angle of inclination formed at the center of the circle with the radii is called as a sector. Here angle of inclination is not formed. Okay na? So it is called as a segment. That is very important to note it down. The sector will divide the circle into two parts. Segment will also divide the circle into two parts. If the area of a segment is small, that is less than half, then it is called as a minor segment. The remaining part is called as a major segment. This is less than half. Okay, now this part is called as a minor segment, and this is greater than half. This part is called as a major segment. Similarly, here also it's happened. The area formed of the sector is less than half, then it is called as a minor sector, and the things which is formed greater than half, it is called as a major sector. Now I will write here, this part is called as a minor, this part is called as a minor. Since it is enclosed with an angle with the radii of the circle, so it is called as a sector. Here no angle of inclination, it is formed with the chord, so it is called as a minor segment. It is less than half. This region is less than half, so it is called as a minor segment. And this is greater than half, so it is called as a major segment. Here also come to the point. The angle is greater here, remaining part, and obtuse angle is formed here. Huh? That is the reason you need to understand one thing here. So if it is greater than that, then you are having the part is called as a major sector. This part is called as a major sector. Now, if I make the sector and a segment to be equal, the meaning is nothing but I will make this is a straight line. I will make the chord to travel through the center of the circle. Then the angle made here is equals to 180 degrees. I'm saying about the sector. If the chord is made to passes through the center of the circle, then it becomes as a diameter. Then the two parts are equal, that is called as a semicircle. Here if the angle made equal to 180 degrees, then these two radii will becomes as a straight line, then that is called as a semicircle. There we are having this area and that area. The meaning is nothing but major sector, minor sector, no variation. Both will have same area. That's the reason it is said to be as a semicircle. Half. Both are with equal parts. That to be noted down here. In saying the sector, we are giving the priority of two things. The first thing is angle, the second thing is the radii. In saying the segment, we are giving priority to the chord. So that should be variation, differentiation between this and that. Okay now. So the meaning of a segment and the meaning of a sector is very clear. So the two parts which plays key role here is nothing but segment and the sector. Segment is nothing but the amount of region enclosed by the chord is called as a segment. Sector is nothing but the amount of region enclosed with an angle with a radii is called as a sector. Make the angle is equals to 180 degrees, then the sector will differentiate the circle into two equal parts. That is called as a semicircle. Now if I make the segment, that is the chord, to travel to the center of the circle, then it becomes as a semicircle. See the things here. If the chord is made to travel through the center of the circle, then it is called as a semicircle. Yeah, making the chord to travel center of the circle. Here I am giving importance to the angle. If the angle made at the center of the circle is equals to 180 degrees, then the radii will becomes as a diameter. Then it's said to be as a semicircle. So in sector and in segment, the two things will play a key role. In segment, chord is very important. In sector, radii is very important, followed by the angle. Here we won't give the priority here angle. That's the reason. if you go for the joining the end points to the center of the circle, you will have a triangle followed by a sector. In a segment, to find area of a segment, we cannot find directly. That's the reason the segment is inbuilt by a sector. That need to be understood here. Even if you go for the sector also, if you join the vertices, it becomes as a triangle, then a sector is inbuilt by a segment. It happens to be that. Thank you.